Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and I'm joined by Felix because we just can't. He's here. Did you hear him? We just can't get over how good Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom both look on Nintendo Switch 2. Like, we got a glimpse of it during the Direct, but Zion has been able to get some proper hands-on time. He sent us some footage. There's also an extended video that Nintendo themselves released, which confirmed that if you own the games and you have Nintendo Switch Online, plus the expansion pack, you get that upgraded version on your Switch 2 for free, whether it's on launch day or any time, which I think is a nice little bonus. But my God, Felix.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. In the footage that Zion has, we see the intro of Breath of the Wild. We also see a lot more, but it is especially the intro because I've played that part so many times. Just seeing it run butter smooth. You see the draw distance is so much further. It's just, everything from the Sheikah Slate coming up. Oh my God. When I was watching this for the first time, no joke, I was like, oh, I'm gonna cry. It looks incredible. It's just so smooth, so crisp.
Yeah, like the movement is so smooth. It sounds stupid, but it almost doesn't look real. I am so used to seeing these games running, I think, perfectly well on Switch 1, 30 frames a second at about 900p dynamic. And so to see it like this is just like, well, in a way, you're sort of looking at it and going, has someone done like some interpolation to like make up the extra frames? But they're all perfect. It's just like, what is going on?
I cannot wait to try this out. It looks like some... Yeah, it doesn't look like the type of thing that Nintendo would put out. It just... Yeah,
no.
This is exactly how Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom was supposed to look.
I think that's not unreasonable, but at the same time, it clearly was designed for Switch 1. This is like
what I
Brucey
mean
bonus good.
is like this looks like what the developers and everyone had like intended. It just looks like, yes, this is how it's supposed to look. This is what
it's what it deserves.
Yes, could not have put it better myself. There's also quicker load times, which we get like Zion showcases it, and it's really quick. Like I'm showcasing it right here. And it's really quick. Boom. There it's done. Wow.
I'm just pleased that you can steal the baked apple from the old man still. That's the only bit of gameplay that I cared about in those games. That is not true. But it is... It's like... it's just boggling my mind. I did have a look at the trailer, in fact, the B-roll.
Yeah.
Because they sent us some B-roll, and I zoomed right in on a screenshot to try and get as much, to try and essentially pixel count.
Yes.
To see what resolution we're looking at. And whilst I can't say what resolution it is, I'm fairly certain I can confirm it is not 4K. And I think that's all right, It's not 4K. I would hazard a guess. And this is only a guess, really, is that it's around about 1440p. I'm not Digital Foundry, I can't do it properly, but I think it's around there.
Yeah, maybe there is an option, in the settings you can change it. Maybe here it was just set up so it was as smooth as possible. Maybe there's 120 frames per second, I don't know. But it looks great. It's also really cool to see stuff from Tears of the Kingdom just running all smooth, because that game had more like frame lag than Breath of the Wild, at least in my experience, especially when you use the Master Hand and all that sort of stuff.
Ultra Hand. Master Hand is from Smash.
That's true. That is so true. But another
Felix was up very late last night, I want to let everyone
know.
His brain
Alex, don't remind me.
His brain is fried, and I am carrying him.
Okay. So they also added a new thing, which is the Zelda Notes thing, which you can access through your app. And that is, I think it's a bit weird. It's not in the game itself, but it is quite cool. I had a look at it, and I've not tried it myself, but not only does it add so you can find Koroks and shrines with guidance, so you don't have to go online. There's also voice memories, so you might go to a specific location, and it says, oh, there's voice memories and there's voice acting talking about, that's that location. And I think personally that's really, really cool. It adds a new element to the game, you can also share creations. You can share like weapons you've built in Tears of the Kingdom. And there's also some kind of achievement system. Which, what?
Yeah, like medals or something.
There's medals. You can also see all your stats, which, yeah, I hope you can see all your stats with your previous games. Playthroughs. I know that save data will carry over to this version. They did announce that.
Yeah. I think most of the time those numbers are recorded in game, and I don't know why that's the case. It might be a debugging thing or something, but there's a lot of games where it's really not necessary to count stuff, and yet the games do count, and you'll often find like little things, and you'll find characters in games, and they'll go, yeah, I know you've killed 12 bats or something. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but it's not uncommon to say the least.
Yeah.
And I think, so it's entirely possible that will carry over. It's also possible it won't. We'll just have to wait and see.
But yeah, seeing Korok Forest just run 60 frames per or however many frames there is looks fantastic. I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but I cannot wait to give it a shot. I don't know if I'm going to make a whole new playthrough. If it's anything, it's going to be Tears of the Kingdom. Like, give it a proper go again now after a break, after Breath of the Wild. Hopefully it catches me more. But I also think this is awesome for people who haven't played the games. I talked with my girlfriend, and she was like, yeah, she never really got into Breath of the Wild, but she saw how great, like how crisp and how awesome this looked. And she was like, yeah, maybe I should give it a go again, especially with that Notes app in the phone, so you can find everything. Because, it does take a bit out of the immersion if you can't find this and that, and then you have to go online and search for it. Of course, it would be even better if it was in the game itself. But
I actually have a counterpoint to that, because originally my thought was, I agree. I think it should just be in the game. That makes the most sense. But at the same time, I think having that barrier, as silly as it sounds, but having that barrier of having to pick up your phone and look something up is just enough to discourage you from doing that for everything. If it was just in the game, it would be like an Ubisoft game. It would just tell you where to go for everything. And I think that would diminish the experience. So whilst it is, it's a little clunky, I suppose, but I think, all things considered, it's probably the better implementation rather than having it in the game. It definitely takes away the mystery if it's just telling you, sort of where everything is immediately within the game.
Yeah. No, I can see why they would do it. Still, personally, I would love to have it in, especially like the tracked data, how many enemies you've killed and all that sort of stuff. That'd be really cool to see. But
and maybe the memories, that would be quite nice in game, but like the GPS, I think that's fine on a phone.
Yes. But no, I cannot wait to when we get around to do the comparison videos and like properly do comparisons. And
it's going to be night and day, isn't it? It's going to be unrecognizable.
Oh, it's going to be great. Cannot wait. But anyway, everyone watching, what do you think of all this? Do you think it's as pretty as we think? Are you almost letting a tear roll down your chin? Well, yeah.
A tear of the kingdom?
Okay, I'll let you do the outro now.
We've been working too much.
Yeah,
thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom 4K 60. Hello, goodbye. That subscribe button, and be sure to check out nintendolife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye bye.